Hi all, it's Mrs. Wright, and I'm here to do another read aloud with you. This book is called Substitute Creature by Chris Gall. When you look at the cover of this book, what do you think? Do you think it's fiction, false, made up, or non-fiction, real? If you believe that this book is fiction, fake, made up, you are right, because we know there's not really a creature that looks like this, and it must be a fantasy or made up a book. So this is a really fun book. You may know this book. This is a Washington Children's Choice nominee for 2020, and you'll see why in a minute. It's a great book. In this book, we're going to see some words, and I'm going to show you them. One vocabulary word that comes up is the word precisely. Does anyone know what precisely means? The sentence in the book is, at precisely 8 o'clock. The students saw the teacher come in, and that means exactly 8 o'clock, precisely. Another vocabulary word is snickered, which means like a mean, scornful laugh. You might also hear sneer or smirk, mean the same. And another word is mischief or mischievous. That is what this book is about, because the substitute creature, is talking about mischievous children from the past. Okay. You ready? Substitute Creature by Chris Gall. Do you see the creature? Or a shadow of the creature? Right here? Oops. Right here? Okay, here we go. Substitute teacher. Oh, preacher, rather. Preacher, teacher, rhyme. Here we go. Still trying to figure out my angle. It's not easy. Here we go. On a windswept day in late October, the students of Miss Jenkins' class arrived to a surprise at school. Substitute teacher today, announced Peyton. Amanda giggled and scribbled on a chalkboard. Luke performed a circus act. Gavin laughed like a math scientist. Then, at precisely 8 o'clock, the door to the classroom creaked open. The substitute entered the room. Now look at that picture. And then look at this right here. What kind of creature do you think that might be? Any guesses? Good evening, all, or good morning to all. My name is Mr. Creature. Mrs. Jenkins has asked me to step in as a teacher. She claims that this class has gone quite out of hand, so I'm here to warn you we're taking a stand. If you're plotting some mischief, please don't even try. In the back of my head, you'll find I have more than one eye. Look at that. 3 eyes. Do you see the children doing anything mischievous in these pictures? I see feet up on the desk, eating snacks. Someone's putting a tack below the teacher, making faces. All kinds of mischief. Attention, all scamps, all rascals and fools. For the 49 years I've visited schools, I've collected some tales whose lessons are grave about boys and girls who didn't behave. They'll give you the goosebumps, they'll shiver your skin. Now pay strict attention, it's time we begin. And with that, Mr. Creature reached into his bag. Then he pulled out a tattered file. First we meet Keith. Keith is case number 5B27. A hungry young lad, snacking on glue was a habit he had. He ate so much glue, no amount was too much, so he started to stick to all that he would touch. Soon no one could find the boy underneath all the objects that stuck to poor Keith. Look at that. He's got a cat stuck to him even. What else do you see? Would you eat glue? Doesn't sound good, does it? Peyton's huge backpack fell over and a dozen glue sticks rolled out. Mr. Creature looked very unhappy. Sarah, case number 724C. Have you heard about Sarah? And she crammed all her stuff inside of her desk, but enough was enough. Her desk was so full that it started to shake. It rattled and lurched like a minor earthquake. Kids ran for their lives, and the teachers threw fits, and then Sarah's desk blew itself into bits. It exploded because there was so much stuff in it. Amanda passed a note to Luke, but Mr. Creature snatched it from her hands. Kylie, case number 274B. Kylie, the artist, was always the best at drawing when she should be taking a test. When a dragon she drew looked so real it blew smoke, the children suspected it might be a joke. But the dragon on paper then leapt from the page. It tore through the room in a flame-throwing rage. Look at that. The dragon came to life in the classroom. Are you not convinced yet? Did I notice a yawn? In case you're in doubt, do let me go on. Listen up. Have you heard of the daydreamer, Zach? His mind wandered off while he took out his snack. So he failed to see the open cage door, and he simply ignored little tracks on the floor. And no one else noticed in time to shout freeze that the sandwich he had was a hamster and cheese. Hamster got out of the cage and got into his sandwich. Luke jumped when he felt a nibble made inside his shirt pocket. Mr. Creature opened another file. Kate, case 7299A. Kate always carried her backpack with pride. It made a great place for her monkey to hide. Now everyone knows the no pets allowed rule. When her monkey escaped, it wreaked havoc on the school. That means making a big old mess and getting in lots of trouble. When the children all thought they should bring a pet too, soon the school was a mess and it smelled like a zoo. Elephants and tigers. Gavin quietly tied Amanda's shoelaces together. Mr. Creature scowled, then continued. Hank, case number 114B. Now this impish fellow, whose nickname was Hank, like most little boys, loved to pull a good prank. That means a joke. He brought in a guppy to enliven the class, but the days it grew teeth and and then could chomp right through the glass. It wouldn't stop growing. Its skin became dark. Now Hank really wished he'd not brought in a shark. Mr. Creature paused and gazed upon the silent room. Then he reached into his case one last time. Chris, case number 55923. At last we have Chris, a mischievous sort, with a fondness for thieving, I'm sad to report. Thieving means stealing. It seemed the poor boy liked to trick for his treats. Dressed like a monster, he scared kids for their sweets. Then he stole candy from a magical gnome. Now the trick was on Chris. He could never go home. You see the magical gnome? Never, Amanda gulped. Why? Whispered Peyton. When he took off his costume, Chris saw the gnome's curse. He had 7 green legs and something much worse. A note explained how, for the rest of his days, he'd teach other children about wicked ways. Till he repaid his debt, a creature he'd be, and now, by now, you should know, the monster is me. Cool, said Luke. I'm sorry, Mr. Creature, said Amanda. You're the best substitute ever, said Gavin. Mr. Creature spied the clock on the wall. It all happened here half a century ago, at this very school. I thought you should know. Goodbye and good luck. My time here is done. I give you a gift. For each there is one. The students of Mr. Jenkins' class thanked Mr. Creature for the candy and promised never to torment their teacher again. Then Mr. Creature was gone. Torment means like mess with their teacher or be naughty. Outside, Mr. Creature looked in his case and saw that he had one last piece of candy that he had stolen so many years ago. He just needed someone to give it to. Then he noticed a small old man nearby who wore a funny and familiar hat. Do you remember who this is? Mr. Creature quietly slipped the candy into the man's pocket. As the substitute creature walked slowly down the windy street, he noticed a sweet smell in the autumn air. It was a smell he remembered from long ago. His tentacles tingled at the smell as the smell pulled him forward and the wind started to spin around him. He began to run to a small house at the end of the street. Oh my gosh, what's happening to the creature? There, his bike was still leaning by the step, and his dog was still waiting on the lawn. Everything was as if it had never been gone. Chris was home, and he was just in time for a Halloween treat. What do you notice about his Halloween treat? It is the same as the creature. And there, that end page, we don't have a creature anymore. We have Chris. So often we talk about what the message is from a book or what it's trying to teach. What do you think this book is trying to teach us? What moral? What's the author's message? Give it a thought. Talk to your parents about it. Post a comment for me. I hope you're well. I miss you, and I hope you enjoyed this book. Take good care.